market. All right, and Steve, we're going to go with you first on this one. If you had to pick one trade idea for today, and again, this could be a long or shorter term trade idea, what would that be?
Well, I knew you were going to ask that, and of course, doing non-directional stuff in an expanding volatility market, first you'd want to do it with at least half the size as normal. But one thing I like to do is we have a scanner here called OpScan, and I like to scan the option markets looking for those contracts that have the lowest spreads between the bid and asks. Options can be very expensive to trade in certain markets, and so what we do is I have a list of what I call tightest markets, and in the Spider you can find $4 options that have penny-wide spreads, and that's just excellent. There's other markets where a $4 option you'll have a 50-cent spread between the bid and ask in a less liquid market, and it's just very expensive. So if you were to run that kind of a scan, the asset that comes up that has the most contracts with the tightest relative spreads is by far is the Spider, SPY. Now, it so happens that the options on the SPY are chronically overvalued, meaning that the implied volatility of the options, over the long run, many years, when you average it out, the implied volatility is higher than what the statistical volatility is, and that chronic overvaluedness constitutes what we feel is an edge. Now, on top of that, you want to look at the trendingness of statistical volatility, and it is ticking up here. It's kind of on the edge of whether it's ticking up enough to warrant, really being super careful or being most conservatively getting out. But if I had to put on a trade today, right now, I would put it on in the Spider, SPY, and it would be a butterfly, a very wide butterfly in November. Wide going out where it would be an iron butterfly where the shorts might be, say, at 114, and then going all the way out maybe to the long call would be maybe at the 129 mark, make it 15 points wide on each side, and that gives you ample room to then adjust the butterfly in the body of the butterfly. If the market goes down too much, you can always, within the body of the butterfly, say in the puts, do a little bear put spread. If it goes up, you can do in the body of the butterfly a bull call spread to adjust the thing and then move with the market that way. But, if I had to pick a trade right now, that would be it.
Okay, thanks. And yeah, I know we were kind of putting you guys on the spot today, so we appreciate that. All right, and then Mike, if you could share one trade idea kind of as a takeaway from today, again, could be long or short term, and just something that you might be looking at.
Well, I look at this name pretty much every day. Actually, I do look at it every day, and I've traded it quite a bit. I'll definitely stay on the short-term side of the trade, but I think it lends itself that it is a longer-term name in a lot of people's portfolios that they like to hold. Even if you do that as well, the name is Apple. I mean, I think Apple's a great short-term trading stock, and I'm in, with the time frame that we're averaging in the market, we're probably under 8 days that our positions are held in general. So I think with a name like Apple and the underlying strength until something really changes there, I think you got to focus on that name short term. It's a great technical trading stock because it does hold a lot of key support areas, and it's pretty easy to track. Longer term, real simple. Obviously, everybody knows. I mean, I think this is a pretty popular name for long-term holders. But for me, I focus on the short term. And like I said, inside of 8 days has been our average holding period. So a name like Apple is definitely one that I would focus on from here going forward until something changes there at the corporate level.
All right, thanks. And yeah, I think it's interesting when people say short-term and long-term now. It seems like anything over about 2 minutes is kind of a long-term trade with the kind of volatility that this market's been having. So again, thanks for sharing that about Apple. I know there's probably a lot of people in here that would agree with you and think Apple's a great company. All right, and then Bill, if you had to pick one trade idea for today, could be long-term or short-term, what is something that you would be looking at?
Well, that's kind of a tough one for me because, you know, we trade literally at night in that 17-hour market, as I mentioned earlier. We trade only the E-mini S&P at night, and we're trying to home runs. And we could be in a trade for 5 minutes. We could be in a trade for 6 hours. It just depends on the market and the position we find ourselves in. And we trade during that 17-hour period, and sometimes last night we made 4 or 5 trades. Some nights we might only make 1 or 2 trades. So we're in and out of the market, you know, at night. I guess the only way for me to answer that is that if I had to put forth one trade idea would be to, you know, take a look at this market at night. Even if you're not going to trade it, you should know what's going on because it will help you manage your money during the day, and it'll help your trading during the day. So my recommendation is to become more familiar with this market that takes place while most people are sleeping.
All right, thanks, Bill. And yeah, I guess in fairness to you, we'll have to have you back on and have a session at night so you can answer that in your prime. So thanks again for all of you for answering that. We appreciate it. And real quick, I've got a personal question for each of you. This one goes to Mike. Mike, what aspects of pattern recognition do you use to spot breakout type trades?
You know, my favorite, I mean, there's a lot of, I like them all, obviously. My favorite trade is the flag in pennant formations in individual stocks. And the great thing about that is they are short-term continuation pattern. And what they do is they mark the small consolidation before the previous move resumes. Basically, what I'm saying is you can see it in the S&P right now, or let's look at the SPY. We had that really nice sharp breakdown, and then we've kind of consolidated down here for a little while, and that is considered a bear flag pattern. And so you've got this consolidation from this really nice move down, and you can reverse it to the upside so it looks like a flagpole, and it's kind of just consolidating in this little box, and it's going to go one way or the other. And usually you get that breakout. And so I like watching this pattern because time and time again we do break back out of the flag or pennant pattern, and it resumes either its sharp advance or decline, usually with heavy volume associated with that. So it's really an interesting pattern to watch because you can follow a lot of breakouts, but this one is really clear-cut, and you just got to be patient, wait inside the consolidation, which is the flag part of the pattern, and as it starts to break out above that flag pattern, you can see that it's going to move and continue to move in that direction, which is up or down. So definitely my favorite pattern to trade.
Okay, thanks, Mike. We appreciate that. And then, Steve, the question to you is, what makes non-directional opportunities and options so attractive to you?
Yeah, I guess the thing that's most attractive about it is the fact that you don't have to really pay attention to the direction, which is embedded in that question. I'm intensely curious about technical analysis. I love it, and I do use some of it on some directional trading I do, but the core of what I do and what we do here is non-directional, and what's nice is you don't really have to, be on pins and needles about whether something's, following through on the trend or pulling back on the counter trend. And it's nice to be able to relax a little bit and focus on the volatility. I guess if I had to quantify it, I'd say there's just a lot more room for error in terms of that. And so it really appeals, I think, to folks that have been through the ringer on directional trading and kind of want a more relaxed approach, longer-term, approach to making money through the selling of options, through making money through daily time decay instead of making money through the directional follow-through that you expect. It's just a different mindset.
Okay, great. Thank you for that. And then, Bill, the question for you is, what, in your opinion, makes the night market on futures the best market to trade?
Well, I have a service where I help subscribers navigate the market at night. We start usually at 5, and we go throughout the morning till 5 a.m. during the Asian session and European session. And this is not just my opinion. As I said earlier, I find much more consistency in the market at night. And I would venture to say that 95% of our subscribers would support me in this same view. It's a slower trending market, or slower developing market, if you will. It's more of a trending market at night than during the day for the most part. And you don't have these high-frequency trade programs, as I said earlier, because there's just not enough volume there to accommodate these quant models that these folks have developed. And so at night, you just, I think the market has a lot less volatility, even though we're seeing more volatility. It's a little bit more directional, again, slower developing. And I think that, as I said, the majority of people who trade that market at night that are on our service will tell you that they have more success trading from roughly 5 in the evening till 5 in the morning. Doesn't mean you have to stay up all night, because a lot of folks think, well, you know, I have a job or I can't stay up all night. The majority of our trades and our subscribers are probably out of the market by 11 p.m. Central Time. There are probably 25 or 30% that trade throughout the European session in the wee hours of the morning. It's a 17-hour market. You will find a time that's most flexible for you, when you can accommodate not only your schedule but your lifestyle. So when there's a 17-hour market, you will find a time that is comfortable for you, that you feel more confident in the time to trade. And as I said, that might be from 5 p.m. till 8 p.m. It might be after dinner. You know, it all varies. But the bottom line is, I think it's an easier market to trade at night than it is during the day. And again, I'm confident that if you ask 95% of our subscribers who trade with me at night, would probably support that view.
All right, thanks, Bill. And again, just a quick recap of the special guest that we had today. I highly recommend taking the time and checking out their websites and the different things that they offer. So really was a great session. And one of the things that I was most excited about and really enjoy about these sessions is you had 3 different types of traders here. And, you know, you had Michael sharing about some of his stock setups and things that he looks for and favorite type of setups. You had Steve talking about his view as far as a non-directional trader and different things that he does. And then you've got Bill trading the S&P futures in the night market. So really appreciate you guys taking the time to join us, Mike, Steve, and Bill. And again, you can check them out. Mike's website is www.thetradersplaybook.com. Steve's at www.optionview.com. It's VUE. And then Bill at www.dtitrader. So guys, thanks again for your time. Hope you all have a wonderful afternoon. And then
thank you, folks, for joining us.
Yep. Thanks again for being with us. And we appreciate all of you guys for attending. We had a couple questions. I know it was definitely a great session. And we had a couple of questions about how that you could get a copy of the recording. We'll actually type up a quick recap of the event, try to highlight some of the main points and great little nuggets of wisdom that Mike and Steve and Bill shared. And we'll post it on our blog and shoot you an email to the link and have a copy of the recording there as well. So again, thanks again, and hope you all have a wonderful rest of the day.